Finally, The Rock has come back to the Spur of the Moment podcast. No, I'm totally kidding. Finally, we're at the end of the show. And the end of the show, it's time to talk about ThunderBolts. This has been an exceptionally long episode of the show. I think this might end up being 4.5 hours, Jordan.
ThunderBolts.
Excellent.
Asterisk.
ThunderBolts asterisk.
I click leave on porch. Your subordinates will be reported to DoorDash HQ.
Alexi, it's me. Open up.
Milena? Hold on! Elena!
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about the wait. It was an important call. Highly classified. Lot of work. Many irons in fire.
You feel fulfilled?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so full. So filled. But why do you ask this? What brings you here?
Yeah. So yeah, we got out. We got out a week late. We didn't get the opportunity to watch it opening weekend. But we finally saw the ThunderBolts, and it
was a delight.
What a delight! What an absolute and then I okay. Where to even begin with this? I mean, number one, spoilers.
Red Guardian.
We're gonna be spoiling this movie. It's been out for a week. You had your opportunity. It was tough, man. I gotta say, it was tough avoiding spoilers for this. Holy shit, was it tough. The only one I managed not to dodge was the name change. I didn't manage to dodge the name change, but other than that, I dodged.
The only one I didn't dodge was at the end credits.
Right? This is significantly better than Captain America was. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's genuinely it was a genuine surprise how good it was. Like it
so
is it's
I don't want to say that this one was better because the actors were more interesting, but I'm definitely going to imply it.
I mean, yeah, number one, it's fresh, it's new characters you haven't really seen. I mean, it's really it's kind of simultaneously it's more of a sequel to Black Widow than anything because it's more Yelena's movie than it is anyone. She's phenomenal, by the way. Florence Pugh is phenomenal. Red Guardian is phenomenal. He's so good. I would watch 100 movies with Red Guardian.
I would actually make the argument that Yelena is way more interesting than Natasha ever was.
Absolutely, she was. She's a way better character, and they do it like. What's interesting is they've done a really good job. I mean, it could be the performance, but they've done a really solid job of peppering her in. Where like, yeah, she was in Hawkeye, so you and this movie does a good job of not making you go like, you feel like you missed a movie with her. Like I don't feel like I missed anything with her. You get the idea that she's just been doing this a lot. She's a bit bitter. She's a bit jaded. You get that, but
she's burnt out.
Yeah, unlike like, I mean, to be fair, it's not a flawless movie. It does do that thing, that Marvel thing, where shit happened off screen and it just acts as though you saw it. So obviously the villain of the piece is Valentina.
That chick from Seinfeld.
She's the bad guy. She's very... I saw people say that, like, the Sentry and the Void is supposed to be the bad guy. What movie were you watching? Val is definitely the bad guy. She's awful and evil and terrible.
She experiments on humans. She's awful.
Yeah,
she's the
awful.
villain.
She's the villain.
She's the villain, and Bob is just a poor soul who got taken advantage of.
Yeah, he's just a victim. But there's a couple of moments where it's like, well, you know Val, and it acts as though this character has been more involved in the universe that she. And like, no, we don't know.
Yeah, this is effectively not really. Yeah, where it's like, you know Val, and I'm kind of just like, not really.
Like, this movie acts, and it does the same thing with John Walker, where he is now kind of a completely different character than he was on Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it feels like he's gone through an entire story, an entire movie, because they probably had a spin-off or something that they wrote for him, and he feels that. It just feels like the end of a character arc that we never saw the middle of. Like, we saw the beginning of it, but we just didn't see the middle of it, and like, that's
in terms of
but
John
he's still
Walker,
a great character in this movie. Don't get me wrong. He's super fun. His action sequences are super good. I love him. He's great in this. But yeah, it definitely feels like it's lacking a bit something. Contrasted in terms of Red Guardian.
In terms of John Walker, I don't really. I get what you're saying. I don't know that I needed anything else with him.
No. I'm not saying in the context of this movie. I just mean that's what it feels like from a writing standpoint.
Yeah, no, but I don't like. I don't know how to word this. I think he maybe needed something else only because there are definitely people who haven't seen his show.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are going to be people that come in and who are going to be like,
"What?
Who is he?"
To be
like
fair,
not even like how did he become the bitter, jaded man that he is. There will be people who did not watch that show.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
This will be their first introduction to him.
I think though that this movie. You get it. I think this movie does a decent enough job with him where you get it. He's shitty Captain America. Like, you get that. But like, yeah, he doesn't get his superhero name. Like, he's U.S. agent, right? He's not Cap. He's U.S. agent, and they never really call him that. So it's kind of a similar thing with the chick from.
No, he's just John Walker.
He's just John Walker. The same thing with the chick from I forget the character's name. Ghost, I think the character's name is from Ant-Man 2. Where you're like, I don't remember this character. She's really sassy in this, and I don't remember this character being like that.
The last thing I remember of her is like, wasn't she walking away with the not Ant-Man, but Ant-Man's mentor?
I honestly don't remember. All I remember of her is it's one of those movies where
Wasp's dad. Like, weren't they like, we could help you, and like they?
I'm guessing that's where the suit comes from that she's wearing in this, because she has.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Yeah. I honestly I don't. The only thing I really remember about her is that you think she's the bad guy the whole movie, and it turns out she's not a bad guy, and her and Ant-Man team up to fight the actual bad guy.
Yeah,
that's what I remember about her.
And then I guess Valentina got her hands in her.
Well, yeah, the implication being that all of these people, are all varying degrees of like bounty hunter working for her is the idea. They're all getting.
No, I know. I'm just saying we didn't see that.
No, yeah.
So like,
she's another
the
example of,
implication is just supposed to be that like she just found her.
I think
I
she's a
guess.
bit worse than John Walker because her movie's quite a bit longer ago than, at least John Walker's stuff is reasonably recent, so it's not quite so bad. But
I mean that, and also just it's to me it's also more egregious with her because it wasn't her movie.
right, exactly.
Like with John Walker's storyline, it was at
He's
least
the
half
bad.
his story.
Usually partially his story, certainly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I get your point.
like she's like the least fleshed out, which is a kind of egregious because they had Taskmaster who was in Yelena's story. It should have been Taskmaster.
I think it's not Taskmaster because I think they were just like, oh, it's too many people like Captain America, too many spy people. Or I guess maybe they felt like her powers kind of were different. I think that's probably why. Because it definitely comes across that way. It could have been Taskmaster instead of her.
But see, I understand what you're saying, but Taskmaster would have been the perfect character because Taskmaster's entire thing is he/she in this version studies everybody else's techniques. So she could have been all of the other characters. She could have had boots, which made her like Iron Man. She could have had you get what I'm saying. She could have been the one.
I guess they were like
utility knife.
Her being in there, it does straight up turn it into a sequel to Black Widow. I guess. My guess is just merely like they wanted the difference, the different. Like the ghost powers were different. She wasn't just another Black Widow character. I think it's probably the thought process. Also, I could see the compare. They're not the Suicide Squad. Like I could see the. Oh, that yes. Speaking of which, that reminds me. My story.
But I think the best part of this movie and like yes, Yelena is absolutely.
Oh, Red Guardian steals the fucking show.
Is absolutely doing a great job. She's doing a lot of heavy lifting for it. But David Harbour as Red Guardian, you can tell he is having the time of his life.
I mean, so is
it comes through, but just because of the nature of the character, he's not acting.
Right. And so
that's the thing. Like, David Harbour is so excited, which then comes through to Red Guardian, who is also so excited. And it's great.
We want to go back to the very beginning, all 4 hours ago, of with Andor and taking a thing that is normally lighthearted and making it dark. This movie's fucking dark. Bob's backstory is dark. The shit they the fact that they let you hear his dad hit his mom, like earlier MCU movies would never do that.
The fact that they essentially use the dark side of him or whatever as a metaphor for depression.
Yeah, he just obliterates people. Sentry is really cool. He's so legitimately scary. The Void is scary.
The points in this movie where they're talking about the depression and how it feels. Not to get too heavy on our friendly podcast here, but that hit home.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite. The bit where he goes after Yelena on the street after she's like exasperated and she tries to walk away. That their interaction is so good. I got touched when he saved that little girl. Like that was such a great payoff to the bit earlier where he's like, I want to be a hero. Like there's nothing better. His reaction when he saved her, and then she just disappears and dies seemingly. That was legit upsetting. Like that was effective stuff. And that's where I'm like, yeah, you can take something and dial up the darkness a bit while still maintaining what makes it work. And that's what makes this work. That their performances elevate this from being good to being great. Like I don't want to be hyperbolic and be like this is like save the MCU. But anytime anyone's like the MCU's dying, I'm like, but no, they're still making great shit. This is great shit. So yeah, my Thunderbolt stories that I had.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. Breaking news.
Interesting. Apparently Kevin Feige is responsible for the naming them the new. Oh yeah, spoiler alert! They become the Avengers at the end, the new Avengers.
The new Avengers.
Apparently that was Kevin Feige's idea. apparently it was the director's idea or the writer's idea to have Valentina pitch them as to reveal them as a new superhero team, but it was Kevin Feige's idea for them to be called the Avengers, for her to call them the Avengers.
Interesting.
I enjoyed that the name Thunderbolts doesn't come from Thunderbolt Ross, but her childhood soccer team. That was funny. That was
her bad childhood soccer team, which never won a game.
Never won a game. That was a funny bit. Oh yeah, so the big climax of this movie is the Sentry Bob's depression takes over and becomes a villain called the Void, and they've revealed what the shame rooms for. So the climax is they go through various shame rooms. That's how it manifests. So with Yelena, it's the letting the little girl get killed as part of a Red Room test. So with Bob, it's the dad hitting the mom. So apparently they revealed the shame rooms for Red Guardian, Ghost, and Bucky, and they are. We had Red Guardian in the Gulag. Ghost is about her time in the orphanage and being this girl that nobody wanted to be around. And with Bucky, they wanted to do something less expected. At one point, they had written something for Bucky, something really shameful at Boy Scout camp. I think that's interesting.
Oh.
That would actually really
not any of his time as Winter Soldier.
I think that's interesting because he's obviously clearly not ashamed of that stuff. Which he said, he's like, I've had a really shitty life. Like that's.
The question is those weren't in the movie. Are they canon?
No, I don't think they are. Oh, interesting. So apparently,
You have one more?
I've got two more. Apparently, in an early version of the script, there was going to be a scene where Yelena confronted Valentina about why she sent her after Barton, basically.
Oh, I see. I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, Hawkeye. Yeah. And then my final news story was just that apparently John Walker, Sentry wasn't originally the villain of the movie. Originally, it was John Walker, and it was going to be a thing of. And I had seen it. I had seen something about this, about how John Walker turns into the Red Hulk. And I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, that's so unbelievable. There's no way that that's real. But I guess what it was in the original drafts of it, it was really John Walker was the bad guy. For
this movie or for the...
Thunderbolts, for this movie, yeah. John Walker was originally going to be the bad guy. And the idea was that Val was manipulating him and telling him that the serum was wearing off. And she was going to be giving him all these medications that were turning him into a ticking time bomb. A Hulk kind of thing. And there was going to be a bit of a sun's getting real low moment. And then that was... Because he always wanted it to end in like a hug. So I guess the idea would have been like they talk him down, I guess. Which it's still similar. Yeah. But I think it's better with
that. Would have... See, I'm glad if they had done that, they couldn't have had Red Hulk in Brave New World.
No.
Like you can't have them talk down two Hulk-like monsters within the two. That just would have been too much for me.
When they added Red Hulk, they changed it. I'm guessing that's when it changed.
They nixed it
because very much this thing is very much takes place after Captain America 4. Like it's very much after that movie because
feels like it's pretty quickly after.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like during. Yeah, this is definitely one of those movies where like, where's Captain America? So I guess we should talk about the ending. Yeah, the ending, they saved the day, they stopped Sentry, and it turns out that Val reveals them they're the new Avengers, and they do a big long credit montage of like everyone, no one believes they're the real Avengers, and like everyone's making fun of them.
The B Avengers. Hashtag not my Avengers.
Hashtag not my Avengers. Hashtag B Avengers. There's I guess we'll talk about spoilers. Talk about
which is a real fun meta moment because I feel like that's them getting ahead of like all the actual people online who would do that.
There's a really funny bit early on where Red Guardian talks about wanting to be on a Wheaties box. So there's a mid-credit scene where now Red Guardian... Also, he looks worse with the mustache. He looks better with the beard. I'm just saying. Jordan? Jordan? You there?
Oh,
Oh, there we go. You froze there for a second.
oh, he's cut back in. You froze for a second there,
Oh, see, you're the one on my end who froze. That was weird.
and on my end, you were like, "Oh,
That was very strange. Anyway, what was I saying before you froze?
Red Guardian, Wheaties."
Oh yeah, he looks worse with the mustache. The mustache looks bad. He looks better with the beard.
I agree.
But yeah, he wants to be on a Wheaties box. So the mid-credit scene is he's at a grocery store, expectedly trying to pressure some woman to buying the Wheaties box with him on it because he's now on a Wheaties box. But that mid-credit scene was very weird because that felt like the post-credit scene. That was a post-credit scene. Like they don't normally do jokey mid-credit scenes, and so the post-credit
usually the serious actually going to continue the storyline thing is mid credits because they've come to realize that only the diehards are staying till the end credits,
pretty much,
and they want you to see the important thing before you leave.
So very bizarrely, yeah, the post-credit scene is now it's 18 months later, and they are now in Avengers Tower, and they are officially the Avengers. And there's a bunch of jokes between the characters. Bucky reveals that Sam has not taken kindly to them taking the Avengers, and they're suing him for the name.
He's suing them.
Yeah, for the naming rights, which I don't know why he would have the naming rights, especially if they're the government ordained Avengers. Anyway, and Yelena's talking about how there's a disturbance in space that they're tracking and that they've not been informed about. And out of nowhere, there's an anomaly in space, and a spaceship comes through space, and it's the Fantastic Four. Well, it's their spaceship anyway.
So I guess we know that Galactus eats their planet.
Well, again, I don't think we know that for sure. I don't think Galactus is the reason. I think that's a red herring. I think that they will beat or they will somehow stop Galactus, and they will leave their universe for another reason. I think it's good. They're gonna do this is my prediction for that movie. They'll do we think we've won. Hey, we saved the day, just like the Fantastic Four always does. And then something else will happen. There'll be like an incursion, and they'll have to leave because of that. I don't think that's my prediction.
My prediction is that Robert Downey Jr. will be in that movie in the final arcs where he keeps offering to help them stop, to save or protect against Galactus, and they keep saying no, 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 and it'll be like the chips are down moment. All is lost. It looks like they're not gonna survive, and it looks like Galactus is gonna win, and they finally accept his help, and they stop him, and it turns out that he's secretly siphoned away some of Galactus's powers, and the movie will end, and we'll think they won, and it'll be a post-credit scene where he does something, and that pushes them out of the universe.
No, I don't think he's in. I think he's in a post-credit scene. For reasons why I will reveal in a second. What I think that it is, I think they will beat Galactus. Third act is they beat Galactus. They stop Galactus from going for the planet. They convince him not to. You think they've won. They do the the end of movie celebration. Everyone high fives, and then all of a sudden there's an incursion. There's a portal opens up or whatever, and they're like, "What? We thought we stopped Galactus." And then Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. walks out of a portal. And he's like, "You have to come with me," and then the movie makes it look like he's a good guy.
Now, I will say, to support your creed or your thoughts here, which I'm not strongly feeling one way or the other on my theory. I just think it would be fun. But to support your theory, you say that you think Johnny Storm and Silver Surfer are gonna do.
They're a love interest.
So that would not directly, but in some ways it would connect to the original storyline where it's Silver Surfer turning on Galactus, which helps them win.
For sure, that's the direction they're going.
I absolutely see a thing where she turns on Galactus for Johnny.
Yeah, I think that the multiverse stuff won't tie into Galactus. I think they might bring back Galactus later for another thing, but it's just Galactus and Doctor Doom is just too much. I think they'll they'll put Galactus on the back burner for whatever, and they'll bring him back.
Oh,
for
the
everything.
only reason why I think that he would be
I
multiversal,
don't think
quote
Galactus will
unquote.
be in Doomsday. Is my point.
No, I don't think he would either. I think, again, I could see them doing a thing where it's like he is a multiversal
Oh
being.
yeah,
He
that was
exists,
a theory. That was a rumor that people had.
like
I
he
don't.
exists outside of the multiverse. So no, at that point, I wouldn't expect him to be in Doomsday. But I could see it being a thing where instead of him just being a planet eater,
Yeah.
he's a universe eater, and that's the thing.
I think they want you to think that. I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to be a thing where they beat Galactus and the Doomsday, Dr. Robert Downey Jr., all that shit. I think that'll be separate. I don't think it's going to connect with Galactus. I truly don't. But what's interesting,
we'll know in however many months it is until it comes out.
We said at the back of that post credit scene that post credit scene felt weird, like it was just straight up a scene from a different movie.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we both said it, but yeah.
We agreed with each other is the point. Yes.
It is. Well, it was directed by the Russo brothers. So it is. It's straight up. There's no way that in some variation that scene does not come back for Doomsday, and it makes sense because they're filming. It's just like how I said. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in Fantastic Four. He will be in a post-credit scene because they're currently filming Doomsday, so they'll just put a scene from Doomsday on the back of that movie, or they'll film something because all the Fantastic Four are in that movie. So they'll just film something with him while they're making that movie and slap it on in post-production before that movie comes out. Like, they're going to finish filming that movie before Fantastic Four comes out. So there's no way there isn't a post-credit scene involving him in there. But yeah, go watch Thunderbolts. It's legitimately good. It's really, really good. It's honestly it was, again, genuinely surprisingly good. I think maybe because I went in knowing nothing, expecting nothing, and just being like, you know what? This looked fun.
And it was.
And it was. Yeah, it was a legitimate joy. Like, I'm excited to go watch Fantastic Four. It's definitely, like, reinvigorated me. I think but to be fair, I really did like Agatha all along. I guess we'll wrap up the Marvel week. Unless you have anything else you want to say about Thunderbolts. Go watch Thunderbolts. It's really, really good.
I had a good time, and I recommend. If nothing else, watch it on streaming.
Yeah.
If nothing else,
I just think the Marvel stuff just works better as movies. I think I'm learning. Like when they're prolonged and put into television show form, it's too much. I think when they're allowed to be, when they focus on making really good quality movies, that's when they're at their best. And this is like peak MCU. This is MCU when it's good, and this movie is good. It is worth checking out. Like it really is.
That's Marvel Week.
Hey there, everybody. It's Endcard Justin here again. Let me ask you: have you seen the Thunderbolts? Let me know down in the comments your thoughts. And are you excited for the future of the MCU? Are you big excited for Doomsday like we kind of are? Let me know down in the comments. But if you would like to see our full Marvel episode, our 4.5 hour episode on Marvel, you click the box on the left. That's going to take you right there. Or if you wanted to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, you click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us a like if you could. It really helps us out. We'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.